Good morning, it's Martin at Pen Performance. Very cold Saturday morning as well here at Pen Performance. We've got a lovely VW T6 on the dyno. This is the Euro 6 model, controlled by a Delphi DCM 6.2 engine control unit. This one being the 85 brake horse, so we could call it the baby of the transporters really. Good news is it's a software down-tuned engine. The 85 brake horse and the 102 brake horse are 100% the same engine. They use the same injectors, same turbo, and absolutely everything's the same hardware-wise, same intercooler. The only difference is the software, the calibration in the engine control unit is different to limit the power down to the 85 brake horse. So these give great scope for tuning. Obviously, we haven't been exactly the same, the tune exactly the same as the 102 brake horse. This being the Delphi DCM 6.2, there has been a lot of tuning companies that have struggled tuning these, and they've struggled with blowing the turbos up. One of the reasons they have blown the turbos up is because of a protection map or a correction map, what it's called in the engine control unit, and it's an EGT correction map. Now this EGT correction map, obviously there's a temperature sensor pre-turbo. It measures your temperature pre-turbo, and then the correction map, if the temperature gets to a certain threshold, it'll then cut the fueling back so it lowers the temperature. All well and good. Now, what a lot of tuning companies do, and it is very, very common practice, they just go into this protection map and they blank it out, or they massively scale it so it'll run really high EGTs. That's not the correct way to do it on this. Yes, you can get away with it on the EDC 16s and EDC 17s, stuff like that, but these particular ones, the best way to do these, the only way to do them correctly, is to recalibrate the EGT axis, which is the temperature sensor. So you rescale the axis of the map, and then you also rescale or recalibrate the map itself. So these will run safely up to 890C. So you recalibrate the axis of the map up to 890, then you go on 900, 910, 920, 930. But then you calibrate the map itself, so then it starts dropping power off. What you don't want to do, you don't want to scale it up to 890, SLA run at 890, you don't want to run it up to 890, then all of a sudden drop all the fueling off. Because what you'll get then, you'll get the EGTs getting up to 890, the fuel instantly drops off, so everything slows down, the turbo spools down. As soon as it becomes under 890, all of a sudden all the fuel will go back on. So as the turbo's trying to spool down, the fuel comes back on, the turbo tries to spool up. So you've got an action, a twisting action on the turbo shaft, and it can snap the turbo shaft. So you've got to progressively drop the correction map off, so it progressively drops the fuel off, and it keeps the turbo safe. So I have done a video and put it up many years ago because there was a tuning company, and they aren't easy to tune, these DCM 6.2. Yes, we make them look quite easy to tune, the grass, what we're doing, and you know, they're absolutely phenomenal and stuff, but you've got to understand, I've put hundreds and hundreds of hours into these, and it's tried and tested. We've tuned thousands of these vehicles. I am happy, like I say, I've put a video up there showing how the EGT correction map should be tuned, but I am happy to help any other tuning company worldwide in calibrating the EGT map on these. For the reason being is, there's more than enough work for all professional tuning companies. You know, I'm not here trying to win any work, I don't need to. We've got a huge customer base, and a huge thanks to our customers. You know, we don't need to generate any more work. Yes, a little bit more work would be nice, you wouldn't turn it down, but it's not as though we're desperate for work. So, you know, I'm a person that would more than happily help people out. You know, for me, it's more important a customer gets a correctly and safely tuned vehicle, no matter what tuning company does it. You know, no matter whether it's done by Revo, whether it's done by Superchips, whether it's done by Quantum, whether it's done by anyone. It's more important that the customer gets a correctly tuned vehicle. So, you know, I'm happy to show how to calibrate this. You know, it's impossible for everyone to know everything. I only tune the vehicles I tune. You know, a lot of tuning companies tune a larger, wider range of vehicles than me. I'm very OCD and I will only offer tuning that I've done full development on. And where I mean full development, I'll spend hundreds and hundreds of hours in research and development. So the tuning that we do is absolutely on the money. And this is why we've got a good customer base. But I'm more than happy to help people, and you know, I am going to, now we've got a new website, I'm going to do some tuning guides as well, where we look at Euro6 and we look at the various maps within the engine control unit, and we talk about what relevance they have onto the engine. We'll also have a look at the data logs and we'll see what influence they have over the data logs as well. So I do plan on doing some of them this year. Yes, customers are going to get a more insight in what goes into correctly tuning engines, and also tuning companies will be able to see how I tune engines, and hopefully it'll help. Like I said, there's more than enough vehicles on the road for all good professional tuning companies. You know, the likes of Evo, the likes of Quantum. You know, there's more than enough vehicles in there. You know, we don't need to fight over vehicles. It would be better working as a team. Anyway, this vehicle came into us, and what I do at Penley Quarters, I don't just get a vehicle in, put it on dyno, run it on dyno, flash a file in and send the vehicle out. Vehicles come to us, put it on dyno, I'll do a base run as it comes to me. So it's a true before and after. As the vehicle comes to me, as the customer brings the vehicle to me. Then I'll carry out software updates, main dealer software updates if needs be, so the vehicle's running the latest software. One of the reasons I do this is I don't want to tune it on the software that's in there, and then said this vehicle then goes to the main dealership plugs their tool in, it flags up that there's a software update available, and it automatically wipes the remap. So I want to put the latest software in there. It saves customers phoning me up and saying, oh, well, I've took my vehicle into the main dealerships and I've lost my remap. So we eliminate that. Once I've done that, I do a full live data log, every sensor on the engine, and then that's saved as an Excel document. I can then analyse all that data to make sure everything's running correctly. We've got correct turbo control, we've got correct back pressure, so we've not got a blocked DPF filter. I can look at absolutely everything. Them data logs are stored for this vehicle. So, for instance, I can go back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years with a registration, and I can look at the data logs that I've got from the vehicle. I'll then carry out what's called a service regen of the DPF filter where needs be. That I'll carry out a service regen and get the SUT load to as minimum as possible. Once I'm happy, once all that work's done, then I move on to the custom tuning. These particular vehicles, we've tuned them thousands and thousands of times, so I have got a dyno tested a base map, and it is a base map that I put in them. So I'll put my base map in there, then I'll do another dyno run, I'll do another live data log, I'll analyse the data log, I'll tweak it where it needs to be. If we've not just got correct turbo control, I can alter the requested boost pressure, I can alter the duty cycle of the variable vane, I can alter the fueling so we've got correct turbo control. And then I'll flash another file in, analyse it, and so on, until we've got absolutely perfect delivery of power and torque across full rev range. So that's what I do at Penley Quarters. Look at the dyno graph as it came to us standard. This is the 84 brake horse Euro6 engine. Now, we do know all these Euro6 engines make slightly more than what's quoted. So it is an 85 brake horse, and this is what she's made. She's made 95, she's made 221 Newton meter torque. A little bit all over. Yeah, we did do a regen of the DPF filter. So that's what she's made a standard, 95 and 221 Newton meter torque. So we'll have a look at the tuned graph, and I am very, very cold. I'm looking forward to getting home. I'll just bear with me. I'll overlay it over the standard graph as well. Like I said, these are a software down tuned engine, so you know, although yes, it was 95 brake horsepower, we have made 156. Some people think, oh, that's way too much. You know, sometimes these vehicles will make 165, 170. They might make 150. It's irrelevant the numbers they make. What's important to me is that engine in there is correctly tuned. Whatever numbers it makes, and they all do differ, you know. So what I do at Penn Performance, I tune the engine. I tune the complete vehicle. If it's got huge, large wheels on, you know, I'll tune the complete setup. I'm not tuning it for balls out power, for bragging down at pub. You know, the numbers are the numbers. I'm not interested if it makes 10 brake horse or 1,000 brake horse. As long as that engine's correctly, and more importantly, safely tuned, that is what I want to do. So this is a look at the tuned. We've made a very nice 156, and we've made really perfect 333 Newton meters of torque. Now these particular vehicles use a 5-speed gearbox, and we've talked about this a lot of times. To tune the fact, this 2 litre Euro 6 engine will make torque, it'll make big torque in low RPM. It'll make big torque way under 2,000 RPM. A lot of tuning companies get mixed up. They tune the engine, yes, they tune the engine correctly, and they might make 360, 370 Newton meters torque. The engine's perfectly fine at making that. They might make that at 2,000 RPM, but the drivetrain's not perfectly fine with that. It puts huge strain on the drivetrain. So what you have to do with these, you have to tune them for progressive torque delivery. There's an internal ECU torque limiter map. The easiest way is to do it on that. So you progressively tune that map, so you've got progressive torque delivery. And this is what you can see. So this is as engine RPM, 0, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. And then as torque, you can see we've got progressive torque delivery. And we're actually making our peak torque, 333, at 2,700 RPM. Like I said, yes, this engine would safely make peak torque at 1,900 RPM. It'd make 380 Newton meters of torque, but the drivetrain wouldn't make it. You'd end up damaging the drivetrain, the drive shafts, the gearbox, and everything else. So it's vitally important to make smooth, progressive torque delivery. A lot of people talk saying, why go to Pendle, or what Pendle different to other tuning companies, and all remaps are the same. This couldn't be further from the truth. It really couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, there's a lot of good tuning companies in the UK. Don't make no mistake of that. There's some absolutely awesome tuning companies. A lot of tuning companies have massively stepped up the game. There's a lot more ready, available equipment for us to live data log. A lot of companies have invested in dynos and stuff, but there is a hell of a lot of companies out there that are just flashing files. You know, I would probably say around about 90% of companies in the UK, they haven't a single clue what they're doing other than just flashing generic files into your vehicle. You might, you'll go and get it done on your drive or wherever, and yes, you jump in the vehicle, and because it feels faster, you'll think this tuning company is absolutely excellent. But if we dig deeper, we would know they haven't a clue what they're doing. They haven't a clue what they've done to your engine control. They don't know whether it's safe. They've just took the cash from you. You've gone away, and we see it time after time. Within a month, 2 months, these people are having major problems with the vehicles. We do retune a hell of a lot of vehicles here at Pendle headquarters, as do a lot of, sorry about the shaky phone, as do a lot of professional tuning companies in the UK. We do see a lot of vehicles come to us for retuning that have been, you think you're saving a little bit of money having it tuned by, oh, my mate had his tuned by such and such down the road, is awesome. They're saying that because they're trying to justify that the money that they've spent having the vehicle tuned. So do some research. These vehicles are your mode of transport. A lot of these vehicles are people's pride and joy. They spend a hell of a lot of money on them. They aren't cheap. So do some research and do take it to a company that is passionate about it. I'll happily give people advice. I'm not trying to win work, but if you want to phone me up and have a chat to me, I'll give you some advice and some questions to ask to tuning companies to see if they can answer them. But do some research. Thanks for watching. I'm going to get home now and hopefully warm up. Have a great weekend.